I am not ready for this. You might be ready for this, but I'm not ready for this. We're going to talk about 2 État Libre d'Orange, which I got blindly, sort of. And today's potions, hello Amy, will be Rien, which I haven't smelled before, so it's a complete blind buy. This is a tester, these are tester bottles. And like this, which I did review on my channel, but I couldn't find that sample I know I had somewhere. I only remembered I liked it. This is the Tilda Swinton scent, so I'm going to prepare the blotters. There's nothing to compare between the two, because there should be wildly different scents. Oh, this is gorgeous. This is like this, the Tilda Swinton scent, and this is Rien, which I suppose it's this nothing smell. Let's see if my perception of like this has changed at all. Should I start with, oh, I should, yes, I should spray them all, maybe to experience the middle stage a bit more easily. So this is like this. My house smells of churros. There's nothing I can do about that. So, and let's spray Rien and leave them quite far apart. Again, these sort of first impressions aren't the most correct way of experiencing fragrances, especially when you do 2 of them at once. It's all sorts of wrong, but you know, I'm going to do it anyway. So Rien is pulling me sort of by the nose, so I'm going to see what this is like. Huh. Well, of course it's incensey, because I knew that about Rien. But there's something very, very familiar about this. And it's very musky and animalic. It's sort of like the same type of civet smell you get in churros in earlier stages, not later stages, but something else which doesn't quite, I can't put my finger on it. This comes across as very mineral, unpleasant sort of smell. You know, unpleasant for most people, I suppose. It reminds me of Attaquer le Soleil at times in its mineral qualities. I have no idea who made Rien. Oh, Antoine Lee, there you go. So this is done by Antoine Lee, unlike Attaquer le Soleil, which is Quentin Bisch. And like this, who made like this? Mathilde Bijaoui. Okay, I butchered that. Sorry. So I'm glad when they mentioned the perfumer, because it's, you know, it's easier for everybody. It's also soapy and smells aldehydic Rien. This is why I said I wasn't ready for this. God, there's so many things I have to film today, and these are all powerful scents. I'm going to have to take a break pretty soon, because I feel myself clogging. But Rien is, when compared to Attaquer le Soleil, which is another, you know, it's labdanum supposed to be in there, I find Rien a lot more interesting than Attaquer le Soleil. This is something I do prefer. Attaquer le Soleil is nice, but isn't something, I think it's quite boring. It's not something I am interested in, unfortunately. I think I wore it only once. It is long lasting, it's a beautiful scent, but it's not, there's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there. And to name that a fragrance inspired by Le Marquis de Sade, I don't know. It's just not much going on there. This, on the other hand, this is very interesting. I have a bit of a blurb here. Let's read that. Nothing is everything. Do not believe what you first see. Under the demureness of the name, the spicy savor of blackcurrant baies. It is a bit sweaty, so blackcurrant baies might be it. and the musky notes of blonde suede. Huh. Rien is a second skin perfume because it's musky, right? A perfume that clings to the body and perseveres in the mind. Like venial sin on the verge of becoming mortal, irresistible, and resolutely pervasive. As light as mohair and as precious as cashmere, the fragrance envelops skin with a powdered caress. It has the meticulous elegance and hypnotic beauty of a modern Dorian Gray in a feminine masculine version. Or I should say gender fluid. An intrinsic fragrance that leaves an unforgettable imprint. Utter charm, utterly charismatic. The vanilla opium accord. I'm sorry? Vanilla opium? Vanilla opium. Well, this is very intriguing. Accord in the dry down reinforces the addiction. Rien is essential, a perfumer's confession. So let's look on the notes. Leather. You know, it does remind me of times of black suede, the Tom of Finland one, although not as powdery. But I think overall it reminds me of something from Zoologist. What was the fecal one from Zoologist? Hyrax? Is it Hyrax? I think it reminds me of Hyrax. With very potent Kouros, similarities. If I'd known about Rien before when I filmed Kouros, I definitely would have given this as a reference as well for Kouros. So back to the notes. Leather, incense, old hides, styrax, patchouli, oak moss, labdanum, amber, iris, cumin, black pepper, and rose. So where's the vanilla opium accord? I don't even know what that means. Do they mean opium as, like this? We're going to talk about this in a few videos. I don't know what they mean by vanilla opium. I don't get. There is a slight clovey dark thing that could remind me of vanilla. There's something very spicy about this as well. I think this is a beautiful scent. I like Rien. It's very interesting. It's something you need to explore. Something I definitely need to try on the skin. There's also an intense incense variety, so a flanker for Rien, which I don't know what that is like. I wanted to get the basic version first, get acquainted with, the original idea of the fragrance. And maybe if I like this, maybe to explore further about Rien Intense Encens. It's intense incense, I'm being an asshole. But I like this, I think it's beautiful. I think it's got a lot of potential, but I cannot shake the fact that it reminds me so much of Kouros. Maybe a sweeter, more ambery Kouros? More incensey? I think it's the references for Kouros are very, very powerful. Now let's try like this. Oh no, when you smell them in tandem, this is so delicate. And this is a delicate scent like this. But I don't remember it being so rosy. I remember it like pumpkin spice. Let's look on the notes. So the notes were supposed to be pumpkin, immortelle, ginger, tangerine, heliotrope, musk, vetiver, neroli, and rose. But this, when you smell them in comparison with Rien, in tandem, this smells very, very rosy and powdery and delicate. It also reminds me of Putain de Palace at times. My collection of État Libre d'Orange is growing. So pretty soon I will have to do a video. I'm going to make a note right now. I will have to do a video on what I own from État Libre d'Orange because I like this house. Not all of them are great, you can't have everything. But État Libre d'Orange is very interesting as a perfume house, to me at least. And I have more than, oh God, I think it's more than 7 or 8 fragrances, which is quite a lot. And it's not something I do it, it's not something I'm conscious of. It just happens that I'm interested in their fragrances, which is a good thing. As I said, this is very musky. I can get the heliotrope, which makes it powdery and woody, but it's so delicate in a good way. I think it's even more interesting than Putain de Palace. Putain de Palace has that audacious, almost Insolence by Guerlain kind of vibe to it. It's sweet violets, it's more in your face, it's more, as I said, audacious. This is demure. Oh God, I waited so much to finally say this word. That it does smell like a more modest, composed, mature version of basically the same type of powdery musky scent, which even though they don't cite violets necessarily, the heliotrope rose combination and the neroli as well do give off sort of l'heure bleue, après l'ondée vibes to this. So this is a lot more composed and rational, but very, very much, you know, alluring and very elegant. What's interesting is when I first smelled it, I said this smelled very orange. The color, not the fruit, not the citrus. Because when I first smelled it, I did get the, as I said, pumpkin spice, right? I did get the ginger and the pumpkin a lot more. Now I don't know what to say. It's more on the bluish side of things, which is a very nice contrast. You know, you've got blues and oranges in the same scent. So it's more powdery, as I said, it's more soothing, while orange, the orange side could get a lot more energizing and more, you know, vivacious. But it's a beautiful, gorgeous scent nevertheless. As always, I do have to test it on the skin. And I'm sorry, this is my second time I'm speaking about like this, and it's not a, you know, it's not a review from experience, which, you know, sad to say. I will have to do it at some point when I'm really familiar with the scent. But it's very nice, very much something I would love, and is the cap of like this golden color as opposed to the regular silvery caps? Yes, it is. That's a nice touch. Don't know if you can tell. That's a very nice touch. Attention to details. I like this. So let's smell Rien one more time. Very nice when you smell them in tandem. They're very contrasting scents. The incense is very strong. And again, it reminds me of something. This is so familiar. It's like I already have this, and it's not just Kouros. Could it be Amouage Gold Man then? Because that's also heavily on incense, you know, heavily incense focused. Nah, can't tell. Gorgeous scent, needs a lot more discovering. And like this. Yes, this is one of those soothing scents I imagine wearing to bed. Good scent. Good creation. We'll have to explore more. Sad to say, it's not a full review. Sorry. So, I'm going to leave things where they stand. If you have any other questions, do let me know in the comments. And until next time, remember, fragrance creates memories, and may yours be happy.